With a consumer, you cannot read their mind. You have to accommodate everybody. Retail's a hard beast. It is not what it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, especially with the online sales. So you pivot and you adjust your sales and move.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Today we have two guests on today, and what we've got is a little different. It's a way to how you plan it one way and then it goes a different direction on you. Hey, I'm Karen. I'm a former CPA, entrepreneur, business consultant with big ideas, and I'm the mom.
I'm Cadie. I'm a payroll specialist, business owner, and detail-oriented person that makes things happen, and I'm the daughter. Welcome to Cheers to Business.
So today we have Elizabeth and Jennifer on the show. I'm going to let you to introduce yourselves and tell us what you do.
I'm Jennifer O'Brien. I'm Elizabeth's sister-in-law, and I help with her shop, Opulence Designs.
I'm Elizabeth O'Brien, and I opened Opulence Designs March 3rd. It's 10800 Dolphin Island Parkway in Theodore.
And that's down South Mobile County across from Greer's.
Yes.
Okay.
Greer's and Bailey's Restaurant.
Tell what the plan was. So what were you thinking when you opened up the store?
I was thinking of giving people in the community an outlet to display and share their local art.
But did you start off as a consignment shop?
No, we started off as new retail furniture and accessories, and then just started adding things in along the way.
Okay, so you bought the inventory, you found a place, because it was a dollar store.
Yes.
It was a general dollar store. And
it was.
And they built next door, which nobody in that area understood why they did that. But so you get an older building, and you stock it full of inventory, and what happened?
Merchandise didn't move like we thought it would, so we started finding different avenues.
See, I love that because when people open up businesses, it doesn't always, most time than not, it does not go the way you planned. It's not a failure in any way. And when people think, well, that didn't work, well, you have to be able to pivot. And I say Roomba on this podcast all the time. You have to be able to go a different direction. So I admire the fact that you go, okay, the furniture's not moving, whether it's location or whatever reason, the area of town it's in. But what can we do to start getting some traffic in here? What happened that led you to go, oh, this might work with the consignment?
I think it was paying attention to the customers.
See, that's huge advice.
Listening to them. Elizabeth started out with a beautiful dream of having a furniture and accessory shop that was conducive to island purchases and the kind of clientele.
And that's being Dolphin Island, because we have national listeners too. So
right.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, you have the community, an older community, one that's well established, and they had their own idea of what they wanted to purchase in that area. So it was kind of a meeting of the minds of snowbirds, islanders, and Foul River area type community. So with just carrying one type of thing, that's not necessarily conducive. So she started the consignments a year ago, January, and then spread from there.
And now you guys even opened it up. I think you kept listening to people, which, I've seen it so many times over the years where people would get, this is the way I'm going to do it. And that's the only way I'm going to do it because I think it's successful. Well, we've had a couple people on that, their product is either they're making beer or they're making salsa, they're making whatever. And, they were so intelligent to listen to others and go, yeah, but I don't like that. So why would I buy it? And so to listen to that, the people in your area, I think is a huge lesson, probably one of the biggest takeaways today, because now you guys have traffic going in and out of that place.
You do. And I think that customer service is half the sale at least.
Oh, yeah.
Because retail's a hard beast. It is not what it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, especially with the online sales. So you, like you said, pivot and you adjust your sales and move.
So how many consignment booths do you have in there now?
There's 36.
Oh, wow.
You mean like vendor space or
Yeah.
consign? Okay, there's the vendors that display and sell their local art, and then there's consigners that bring in consigned goods.
Okay.
So there are two separate categories, but similar sales.
So what do you call a vendor versus consignment? What's the difference?
The local art. arts and crafts that sell. They lease the space and sell their product.
But you're at the counter. You're handling everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because yours truly actually put my hobby. We did a podcast early on, and it was one of our most listened to shows of people turning their hobby into a business. So do you think that's what's happened with the people that are putting their local art, which is fabulous, by the way? I tell you what, some of those paintings and what people do with shells and oyster shells, it totally amazes me.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's a beautiful way to express and join the community. It's a hub, creates kind of a hub for the community there.
So you have coffee, and then you hold classes, arts and crafts. I know I've done a couple crochet classes up there. You've had all kinds of things. So what do you have coming up in the near future?
We're looking forward to more classes in January. Would like to offer one every weekend.
I think the people like to come together, and they don't have to be from that area. I think they're seeing you because you guys have great social media content and showing the wares a lot. I think you're getting people from all over. What's been the biggest struggle, Elizabeth?
Figuring out what people want.
Yeah, because none of us have that crystal ball. All right. So what you're doing now, is that fitting in with when you started?
We're working on some new things for the new year. Try to keep it fresh and draw different crowds in.
Okay, so you're looking to people to come outside the Fowl River area to come. I know I've shared a couple of your things, and somebody go, where is this? And so, just getting the word out there. Do you think that's your most powerful tool right now is the social media?
Yes.
Isn't it crazy how it's turned that way?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And Jen works continuously on that.
It's a couple of years ago, I had looked into marketing for another project, and I did not realize how entailed it was. And it has changed in just 365 days, where, it was a website-based marketing. Now it's social media. And that is where we probably get at least 50 to 60%, and then word of mouth, which is kind of the same thing, I guess, as social media.
Now it is, yeah.
That's a job in and of itself. When you're making 8 to 10 posts a day and trying to create content and sell what people are looking for. Not necessarily what you want to sell, but what they are looking to buy. So,
right. So what are your indicators for what you think people want to buy? What should people be looking for?
That's a hard sell. It's a hard to come up with because a lot of our vendors and consigners ask the exact same thing. What is selling the most in here? And with a consumer, you cannot read their mind. Most people that come into the shop are impulse buyers unless they have heard of something or seen it online that they want to buy. And art is subjective.
Yes, very.
It's kind of like a personality thing, what you're in the mood for. So we try to hit all those boxes, in selling whatever is in the shop.
And you're not going to hit everybody.
No.
You're going to have those people that are just browsing, coming in. I'm just looking and, walk out and not buy anything.
Right.
Yeah. So does that bother you when people do that?
No, because I do the same thing.
I like that.
We just made a post yesterday about window shoppers, and I thought about that. Window shopping is for when you can't necessarily buy, but want to at least see and enjoy it as it sits. And that's what's really cool about the shop is that you have virtually have a hands-on art gallery and a shopping experience. And good hours, and you can buy everything online. And I did just plug that, but it's true. You have to accommodate everybody. And that's becoming more and more difficult.
And if they come in and they don't buy anything, when they leave, they're going to tell somebody about something that they saw there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It helps to spread the word. So,
well, I think that's what's special about you guys is everything in there is so unique. Even the inventory that you bought, it's all so unique, and it is unique to the area, I think, a lot of times. And I think that's important. We hear a lot about shop local, and, you're not only do you have things so they can buy from you buying local, but you represent the community. And so I want to highly encourage everybody. I love going in there. I've been in there quite a few times. And go in there because you're not just helping them, you're helping other people in the community. And I think that's really important.
And Karen's got some beautiful things in there.
method to go to sleep at night during tax seasons has turned into, I don't know how many hats I've made. It's totally ridiculous.
Beautiful sweaters, scarves.
Well, thank you. This is not a plug for me to sell crochet, I promise. I like your story. I think that people think about owning their own business or opening up a boutique or opening up, whatever, and they don't know the struggle. And so every time that the people that come on our podcast haven't been so brave, because they'll tell, this is what I did, here's how I mucked up. So I think if we can get one person to, listen to that, I think it's important. I think it's important to share. But also, the ability to pivot, not everybody can do that. So if one person can go, okay, this isn't working, I'm hitting my head against the wall, let me turn a little to the left or right. I think that's important too. And I think that's what the basis of this show is, plus letting people know about you guys. Now, what did you do, Elizabeth, before this?
I did ultrasounds.
Okay, so you just took the leap of faith and did this, huh? Okay. Spousal support is emotional and mental and financial is very important, isn't it?
Yes. And so it's sister-in-law support because she's been there from day one. So it's both of our babies.
I hear you. I tell you what, you can't do it without the village.
No, you can't.
And I think
I couldn't have done it without her.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That is so awesome.
Thank you.
And Jen, so what do you like most about the shop?
Actually, I like I like the social media stuff. I really do. I hadn't been in retail since I was 19 years old, and I understand this now, why there was such a large gap in time. It's not for everybody. I enjoy people tremendously, but it's a difficult task. It takes an awful lot of work. I'm not fond of the hours. I'm not fond of, the weekend work or, because I had taught, for 12 years and you get used to a 9 to 5. So you have to adjust, you find yourself doing something else and you have to adjust. So I admire, people that work in retail and in industries that can be very taxing. It's like Elizabeth, she puts the hours in. She has a full-time family. She's got, parents that she takes care of full-time and running this business. And so it's admirable for the people that put the time in. Really do the work.
Yeah, I think the owners of retail and the people who work in retail, the girl that's doing the scanning for the POS system, they're doing the scanning, doing the cash register, especially, at Christmas time or any kind of seasonal year. I think they're highly undervalued. People may get mad or whatever, or I can't believe this costs so much. One, they didn't do the pricing. Two, they don't know how much it costs to even put it out there. And so I think, everybody, if you buy retail today, tell that person thank you.
That's it.
Yes.
We've never had that come up before. And I thought, I haven't really thought about it. But yeah, you can buy that because that person's across that counter from you, or that person took that leap of faith to be able to stock a place first. Because people don't really realize how much money it takes to stock a retail. Because you got to buy all that stuff first and then hope it sells. So what are your suggestions for people who have bought stuff and it didn't sell? It's just sitting there.
Mark it down and
discount. I think the worst thing you can do is hold on to old inventory because then it becomes used inventory.
Then it's costing you money because it's you can't put something in its place that could be moving.
That's right. And space is a commodity.
You've really learned that renting out vendors' booth space.
Yes.
By the square foot. Okay. So if there's anybody out there interested in selling something or, and you don't need or have the capacity to be able to open up a full retail place, now there's a place they can go. You guys actually remind me a lot of the co-working space because, I didn't need a full office, after I sold the CPA firm. And so I have a place that's dedicated to me here. And I have a place at your place because I don't want to go sit at a market, all day. And if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't for me. But some people, this is their livelihood. And I think the co-working space and this vendor co-working or co-vendor, can I call it co-vendor?
That sounds good.
Okay. I got a new term. So the co-vendor, the co-working, it's all a concept I think that has been bred over the last few years. And I think people really are seeing the success that can be made out of that. And I think you guys are really on to something. And it's not my mind kind of went to flea market. It's not a flea market. It's total opposite of a flea market. Uncle Henry did a show one time, and he's I tell you what, he made me laugh so hard I almost fell out of my chair. But he was talking about, where can you find an Obama flag? Then the next booth has pennies, panties or pennies or whatever. And then the next booth has Confederate flags. I mean, where can you find that?
That's right.
That's the epitome of the economy.
What people want to value.
Yes.
And even in space. And that's why you see a lot of commercial space available. But space like Elizabeth has, it's becoming more sought after because it's a community type area. And so people are more often than not to run into somebody like themselves and spend that money too.
Yeah, because you want to, it's just encouraging. If people are supporting me, I want to support them. So therefore, take the first step and support them first. They'll want to support you.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge lesson that we can take away from today. So the wine today, Brooke sent some wine over for us today at the Donkey Market. And I am Brooke Donkey. Yes, I love her. Her team too. She's retail.
We had a meeting with her several months ago. We did, and she was so helpful. We were talking about kind of the same kind of progression type thing, and she was gracious, generous, hosted us there, and it was just wonderful.
She's amazing. I tell you what, she's just an amazing person.
She is.
But the wine she sent over, I think she set me up. Have y'all listened to the show, right?
Yes.
All right. You know how I am with wine names. All right. Take a look at this.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and Katie's not here. Katie, she usually saves me or slaps her hand to her head.
Put Surrey over it. Have Surrey pronounce it.
Okay. Siasi Piccolo meaning da Aranagono.
That sounds pretty good.
Does it sound good?
Yeah.
Great job.
It looks like, what's that piccolo? Isn't that little flute?
Yes.
Yeah. Siasi Piccolo meaning da Arago. Hell. I don't know. It tastes good. I really like it. I want to thank you guys for coming on this show today.
Thank you, Karen.
All right. We have to come up with a cheers. Cheers to inventing, at least in our area. I'm sure it exists. If not, I expect to see more of it, of co-vendoring.
Love it.
Sounds great.
All right.
Cheers to friends in the gathering spot.
Hey, I love that, because if you hadn't opened up, I wouldn't have went in there and we wouldn't have become friends. I'm going to tell a little story real quick. The second time I'd ever been in your store was right after my dad died. And Elizabeth, you were at the counter. I know that now. I didn't know it then. And you had little bitty ornaments on a stand right there. And my dad had owned a shrimp boat, and it was a year ago. And I saw that shrimp boat and I started to cry. And I went, thank you. That was it was just the perfect time, because he had died November 29th, and this was like a week later, and there's this little shrimp boat ornament. And I don't know why, but it touched me so much. And, and I just kept coming back. So
You touched me that day, too.
Thank you for being my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we've been talking the store up because I love the store, and it's more than a store. I think store is really not exactly what it is. It's not quite a gallery, and it's a hybrid of a lot of different things, and I think it's really cool. And so, how can people find out about you? How do they learn where you are, who you are? How do they contact you?
Our telephone number is 251-973-2000. We're on Facebook, Opulence Designs. We have a website, opulencedesigns.net, and Instagram, and the address 10800 Dolphin Island Parkway in Theodore.
All right, people, get in your car. Go see them.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Please be sure to subscribe to Cheers to Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else that you get your podcast. Visit our Facebook and be sure to give us a like. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, shoot us an email from the website cheerstobusiness.com.